Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Bhagat Namdev, compositions in Rag Asa. And in this particular passage, Namdev Ji, who's a very prominent presence in the Bhakti movement, he's questioning ritualistic practices, particularly idol worship, because Gurmat emphasizes the omnipresence of the self and the importance of sincere devotion over ritualistic practices. So in this passage, he questions the notion of worshipping a thakur, a physical idol, suggesting that the self cannot be confined to a stone or a physical form. So let's review the passage. Asa Anile Kunbh Bharaile uddak ठाकुर को स्नान करो 42 लाख जी जल में होते बीठल बैला काय करो. So the language is his native tongue, Marathi. Anile Kunbh Bharaile uddak ठाकुर को स्नान कराओ. Anile is I can. I can bring a pitcher, kumbh, and fill it with water, bhariale udak. I can do this to bathe the stone idol of the deity, Thakur ko isnan karao. But there are thousands and thousands of species. He specifies 42 lakh, which is an expression to suggest that there are hundreds of thousands of species of creatures in water. And the all-pervasive self is already present in them. So how can I treat the idol as all-pervasive and give it a bath? So 42 lakh je jal mein hote, beethal baila kaya karon? So it's a question. It's forcing us to think. And in the Rahau, he says, this is the key, the essence. Jatra jao tat beethal baila, maha anand kare sad kela. Rahau, jatra jao, wherever I go. Tat beethal baila, tat means both essence and there. So, jatra jao, wherever I go, I presence the essence, the Beethala, the great one, Tata Beethala Bella. And what is the Beethal Bella up to? Maha Ananda Kare Sadkela. So it's referring to the Beethal as Maha Anand. Namdev says he's present everywhere and takes great delight, Maha Anand, in playing its eternal sport. Kare sad kela. Kela is a sport. Sad, forever. So he's forever playful. The self is playful. He's not grim or serious. So we should think about this. He's not sitting there with a frown. Okay? Yeah, because people imagine these physical properties. It is bliss itself. So this world is informed, infused by an underlying bliss and delight that we seem to be missing because we are looking for it in the wrong places. And then in the next verses, he gives further examples. He says, I can string a garland of flowers, Anile Kunbh Bharaile mala, and I can use it to worship the Thakur. Thakur ke hau pooj karon. But you see, the Creator in the form of a bee has already whiffed the fragrance. Pehle baasle hain bhavara. So how can I now treat the idol to be all pervasive? And further on, he says, I can bring milk. I have brought milk and made it into rice pudding. Anile Kunbh Bharaile Kira. Boiled it. I've made it into kheer. Thakur ko naved karon, to offer it to the idol. But the calf has already tasted the milk. Pehle doodh bitaryo bashar. Bitaryo is to defile it, because the calf puts his mouth to the teats of the cow. So Namdev says, what can I do now? Bithala behla kya karu? What should I do now? He's asking the idol. And in conclusion, he says, the self is present hither. The self is present in the yonder. There is no space, no world without the self. Ibha beetal, ubha beetal, here and there. Beetal bin sansara nahi. Without the beetle, the all-pervasive self, there is no world possible. Than thanantar nama pranava. Nama makes a supplication that not only is the self everywhere, but also within the space and the space between the space. Than thanantar. So Nama's supplication is that you, O Beetala, are everywhere. Than thanantar. So there is a certain imperfection. The act of offering becomes less important when imperfections arise. It suggests that rituals alone cannot attain the purity or devotion that is required in spiritual practice. If you recall at the very outset of the Japji, that is what Nanak is teaching us, that you require an inner devotion, a sense of submission. You have to purify yourself of the ego, and you can't do it through these practices. So therefore, again, the suggestion is not to give up ritual, but to understand its significance and to give it qualitative meaning in your life. So if you're submitting to the idol, it should be an indication to you that you need to submit, to surrender the ego to the self. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.